What's going on, guys? Over at FIFA Gaming HD, it's Matt Rabbits here, and first of all, thanks for the continued support on all of these videos. It's been great so far. I've really enjoyed all your guys' feedback. As always, any questions at all, then add me on Skype, personal messages, or any comments below, and then I do jump back to the videos to have a look if there are any questions. So I will answer them in there if they're not sort of how do you make coins, because it's on the video there. You'll have to excuse me if my voice sounds a bit different. I've actually lost my voice a little bit. But fighting through it to do a commentary for you. So of course this is starting from scratch. I won't talk too much about what's going on the screen. Just really continuing to buy gold players. What I tend to do once I get to this amount of coins is buy, I guess you could call it higher end gold players. So I get to know people's prices and I try and buy them. When I buy players, I scout out what their price is going to be. First of all, I set a price of what I want to spend. So if I want to spend sort of 5k on a player, then I'll set the buy now maximum to 5k and the minimum to like 3k. So we'll find players in that sort of price range. Then if there's any that's always pop up, then they're obviously going for that sort of amount of coins. So then I'll find out their lowest price and see if I can get them for it. Depending on their price, I try and get them for about 1,000 or so less. If they're up sort of towards sort of 8k or so. If they're a little bit lower, I always try and make at least 500 coins profit on people. As I said in the last episode, if you fill your trade pile with 30 players making 500 coins profit on each, this is after tax by the way, then you'll be making sort of 15k, which is a good amount of coins. If you can do that every day, 7 days a week, not that I'd get the time to, but if you guys did have the time to do that, then you're making quite a handsome amount of coins. So it is possible to do things like that. In terms of who to buy, I know that's probably going to be a question in the comment section. What I tend to do is look on the Ultimate Team database. You should all kind of know what that is. If you don't know what it is, I'm sure somebody will link it in the description below. Excuse me. So you can have a look on there. And what I do is I look in the Premier League, but it can be any league. It doesn't really matter. Whatever you're comfortable trading in. It could be a nationality if needs be. But I set sort of minimum rating from about sort of 80 and then put it up to sort of 85 or so. So you don't get the ridiculously good players that you can't afford. Then what I actually do is set card weight. Because that shows you sort of, I think it's the most common players on the market, the most common that are pulled out of packs and things like that, how many of those players are on the market, etc. The higher the card rate, the more players, I think this is how it works, correct me if I'm wrong, the more players are on the market. So I think at the top of the Premier League is Gervinho, so you'll see a little bit later on I do buy a few Gervinhos and try and get for sort of 500 coins profit on them. A lot of the time when I was playing this or trading here, I was buying within sort of happy hour, which is always a good time to make coins because people are putting them up for sort of 150, not knowing their price, and you can usually get cheeky bids. So we'll see. I must confess, I do actually make a couple of losses in this episode, which will happen. I'm not ashamed to say that I made a loss. You guys, really, you've got to try and test the market. As I said in the last episode, if something doesn't sell or you make a loss, it's no big deal. You can make the coins back in the next trade. At least you know exactly what their price is going to be. I haven't really talked much about what I was doing in this video because it is pretty self-explanatory on the screen. And as I said, I just get to know their prices and go from there. I only really got to trade for about sort of a day and a half-ish, maybe a few hours a day, a couple of hours a day in the evening when I got in from work. So I don't make that much money in this video, I must say. What I'm going to plan on doing next, which you can see I've started doing on the screen now, is buying in forms. I'm up to, you'll see at the end of the video here, I won't sort of ruin it, but at the end of the video I'm up to a reasonable amount of coins, I suppose you could say. So I will start buying the odd inform now and trying to make a bigger amount of profit on each inform. I mean, with informs you can usually make about a K at least, and sometimes up to sort of 4 or 5k. So they're nice and easy to make profits on. It's just making sure you choose the right people. So that's probably what I'll do in the next couple of episodes or so. The Team of the Year players are out actually this week, I think, weren't they? So depending on when this is up. So just a quick question. I don't know how many of you guys got any of the Team of the Year players in there. If you did, let me know who you got in the comment section. I actually bought Team of the Year Lambert, being a Saints fan. I picked him up pretty cheap actually. I think I got him for about 30k in the end. So he's a pretty beastly player. Pretty good player to use in my team. I've built a squad around him. But back into to the video, so I got a bit distracted there. Formation cards are another really good way of making coins. Anything with 4 at the back will sell for a minimum of 1,000. Formation cards are tricky to sort of gauge because there's no way of filtering out which ones. You just have to add loads to your trade part, your watch list rather, and sort of look and see what's selling. 451 is at the bottom of the pile, I would say, and then 41212 and 442 are at the top of the pile. In order, it kind of goes sort of 451, 4231, cards like that. Then it goes up to sort of 4321. Sorry, 4231 is the second, then 4321. Sorry, this is getting confusing. And it just slowly goes up from there. 4312 is another one you can usually pick up quite cheap. But as I say, you can sell them for a minimum of 1,000. So picking up formation cards for sort of 800 coins or so is usually pretty good. I would set their start price at 1,000. Depending on what it is. 451 I tried to sell for about 1,500. You'll see in here most of the time they went for sort of 1,300 or so. So making a good amount of profit on each one. But you'll see here this is just the end of the video now, so how much I made, just showing the last sort of trades of what went in my trade pile, etc. I did actually make a loss on one of the informed Kollarovs there, and then made a 2k profit on the other one, so sort of made up for the loss. But the video's coming up to an end now, guys. As I say, any questions, drop them in the comment section below. Next episode should be in forms, or it might be more goals. I haven't really decided yet. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you have, as always, give it a like and pop over to my channel and see what I've got going on there. And I'll speak to you guys soon. Cheers, guys.